Peace. Welcome back to MyCol Academy, where we master our code, nurture our growth, and find our way through life together. My name is MyCol. As you know, I will be your guide today. And in today's class, we'll be speaking on the topic, family is frequency. Now, I know you might be thinking, what you mean family is frequency? It's something that when I've been on my, journey of evolving and growing and learning about myself and the inner workings of who I am, I realized that there's times where, you really connect with your blood and your family, your cousins, your uncles, your aunties, your mama, your papa, your brothers, your sisters, whomever in that blood sphere. Yet there's other times I've met people just being in my environment and community and at work that resonate just as much as if they were my blood. And I thought to myself, how do I connect with these people who I have no ties to, sometimes more than the people that I've known all my life up until this point? And that's why I wanted to talk about today, because when I came across the realization that family is frequency, it changed my life. And I haven't looked at it the same ever since. So let's go. Come on. Slide number 1, baby. Family is frequency, resonating with my roots. Let's explore the profound connection between family and frequency. Uncover how our origins, relationships, and self-awareness create unique vibrations that shape our journey through life. Come on. So I didn't take the liberty of explaining what family is. I do have a strong feeling, and I do believe the MyCol Academy audience is wise enough to know what family is. Yet if you don't, that's okay. That's okay. We're going to redefine and redesign what family means here today. And by the end of this class, I am sure that you will have a different perspective of what family means to you. Yes. So since we're not going to go down the family route right now, I thought that why not take a look at what frequency means? Because I'm going to be honest, I didn't always know what that meant growing up. So let's get into it. Frequency, tuning into my true self. Frequency is the rate at which vibration occurs that creates a wave, either in material, as in sound waves, or in an electromagnetic field, as in radio waves and light, usually measured per second. If you look this up online, this is the definition. I shifted one word. They said constitutes. I said create, just to break it down simpler. But literally, let's read it one more time. Frequency is the rate at which vibration occurs. Frequency is the rate at which vibration occurs that creates a wave. Let's break it down piece by piece. Frequency is a rate. We usually know that when something is of at a rate, it's a measurement. Rate your experience. Rate your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Rate him, rate her on a scale of 1 to 10. Smash or pass. Totally inappropriate. But we've been rating people all of our lives, whether we've been the ones doing the rating or we've been the ones that have been rated. And with that rate, that lets us know that frequency is something that we measure, on some type of scale. Now, we rate at which vibration, which is constant movement. Vibration is, you're seeing me vibrate right now. The screen is vibrating right now. There's sound waves coming through that are vibrating right now to allow you to hear me. The light waves are coming through from these lights, through this camera, through this setup for you to be able to see me. There's vibration we ain't gonna go too deep. Vibration is movement. Vibration is movement. At which vibration occurs that creates a wave. Okay, so we got frequency being at a rate. So we're measuring something at a rate. We still figuring out what is frequency. We're measuring something at a rate. And if it's at a rate, it's moving at a rate. Okay. And then it's also creating a wave, which means to be in a wave means that it's not just a drop. If we're thinking about the ocean, when we think of a wave, we don't think about the drop of the ocean. We think about the wave of the ocean, you know? And shout out to all my people that recently have gone through, the hurricane and whatnot. I'm praying for you, praying for your families and a recovery, and that you find solace in your situation where you are with what you have. Just a real quick disclaimer. So getting back to it, creating a wave. When we think about the ocean and we see the wave, when we're surfing, when we out at the beach having a good time, the wave comes in a unison. It's a lot of droplets that come together in motion, in movement to create that wave. So frequency is at a rate, it's being measured. The vibration occurs. So that means there's movement that's happening, that's creating a wave of unison. Okay, that makes sense. Then it says what? It says either in a material. Oh, so there's something in the physical component, something that can tangibly feel, touch, smell, taste, whatever it might be. It's within our senses. Material, or in an electromagnetic field. Here's where it gets a little deep. You ever sat next to somebody on the bus and you could just feel their energy around you, Like y'all might not have been touching, but y'all was so close it felt like you was touching. Or you stood in a line back in school and you'd be somebody in front of you, somebody behind you, you could just feel their energy around you. Or you ever just been minding your business, doing whatever you do, and then somebody just looking and staring at you and you just feel somebody just looking at you and staring at you? Well, that's our electromagnetic field, or some people like to call it our aura, which is our essence of our energy that's emitting from our bodies. It's the electromagnetic field that's around our bodies. It's our energetic bodies outside of our bodies. Imagine there's like a stencil around me that's covering me and you don't see it, but I feel it, It's around you too. It's around you too. And it's around anything that vibrates. So getting back to frequency. So we got a rate at which vibration occurs that creates a wave either in a material, taste, touch, sense, smell, see, or in an electromagnetic field. Electro means it's outputting, magnetic means it's pulling towards you. So our electromagnetic field has the ability to push or pull, push or pull, push and pull, usually measured by second. Okay, so the rate is measured in time. When we take it back, when it's usually measured per second, the frequency is being measured by time. So it's when movement occurs in unison at a rate of time, whether that's a physical material or electromagnetic field. So it's something that we sense. And like breaking this down simply is not the most simple thing to do, because I want to go with the woo-woo. And the woo-woo is frequency is a feeling, Frequency is a feeling, yet frequency is how we communicate to one another. I just talked to my uncle on the phone and he talked about, his work in frequency when he was working in the service, and how, let's say at our phones are connecting to a tower and that's bouncing off a tower. Our phone signal and connection is bouncing to a tower, and that tower is going through lines, bouncing off different towers, potentially hitting the satellite for me to be on the phone with him all the way up where he is up north. We're not right next to each other, but the fact that we have ability to connect with the copper wire and the phone lines, but also connect with the satellite, means that we can connect and talk to anybody on Earth, potentially even outside of Earth. But that's a different story for a different day. But then he also talked about in the service how you have airwaves and the frequency in the air and how they would translate messages, send and receive messages right up in the particles in the air through different bandwidths. It gets deep. It really gets deep, but it's something that we use practically every day. You ever use a microwave? A microwave is literally sending frequencies of energy through your food to speed it up. It's speeding up the rate. Let me put it back on me. The microwave is speeding up the rate at which the food is vibrating. And when something is sped up, what does it do? It creates energy. It creates friction. And what does friction produce? Heat. So that heat is heating up your food, which is cooking it, which is AKA aging it. So therefore, then you can consume it warm or hot, whatever your preference is. Even a refrigerator, that's emitting frequency. That's cooling it down. It's slowing it down. It's sending energy through it to cool and slow the process of aging over time. Over time. Yeah, also, let's look at it from the music standpoint. You bumping your favorite song, you dancing, you got your groove on, whether you got a slow jam and you hitting one of these. You know what I'm saying? Or you hitting one of these, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your jam is, that music, those sounds, those instruments are coming through some type of device, whether it's a jukebox, whether it's a record player, whether it's a CD player, whether it's tape, whether it's streaming, whether you got an MP3 player. There's a frequency that's being transmitted into your ears that you can feel throughout your body. And that makes you want to move in a certain direction with the rhythm of the music, with the rhythm of the sound. So we have light frequency, we got sound frequency, we got light and sound frequency, and that allows us to see and to hear. And both of those combined allows us to feel. It gets deep. I just wanted to give a quick breakdown of frequency if you don't quite know what it is. And if you still don't know what it is, at least you got some examples of how we use it today. Okay? I'm not going to say I'm the best at breaking down frequency. I feel it. I know it. Can I explain it? Not always, but I'm doing my best. All right, let's get back into it. So coming back down to vibration, your energy pulses outward. It pulses just like your heart. That's a sound in the field. Your vibration, your energy pulses outward, influencing the world around you. So be aware of your thoughts and emotions. Then we got harmony. Harmony creates a symphony of positive energy in your life by harmonizing your relationships and inner self. Create a symphony of positive energy in your life by harmonizing your relationships and inner self. And then we got resonance. When you live authentically, you resonate at a higher frequency. So align your actions with your core values. So the reason why I felt like sharing these on this frequency slide is so important, to break down the vibration, the movement, and more specifically, the outward movement that we put into the world is influenced by our thoughts and our emotions. Usually before we move and do something and perform actions, we have thoughts and emotions. How do we think about what we're about to do? And how do we feel about what we're about to do? And then what do we end up doing based on those? If you reflect, you can pause this video, reflect and think about, the last decision I made, did I think about it? How did I feel about it? Or was I just subconsciously going with the flow? Just ask yourself, do a simple exercise. Literally, you can track your decisions throughout the day and ask yourself, was I thinking when I made that decision? How did I feel when I made that decision? Why did I make that decision? And start to question the routine, the rhythm, the habits, the behaviors, the actions in your life that are determining your reality, which builds harmony, which is all of those decisions come together and they create that wave. Going back to the definition, that vibration occurs. So we're thinking, we're feeling, we're doing. And the more we think, feel, do, 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 think, feel, do. The more we think, feel, and do, the more we move in the unison of that rhythm of thinking, feeling, or doing, you know? And by creating that harmony, I would submit and offer you, do it positively. Being in a harmony of positive energy has miraculous effects. So when we're in a symphony, you think about a symphony, all the instruments and the conductor coming together to create a beautiful piece of sound that comes together. They're playing different notes at different speeds, yet it comes all together at a harmony. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good when your life is in harmony, when the piece is in harmony, when the sound is in harmony. That's why people say have a sound mind, to keep it harmonized, keep your mind harmonized. And your life by harmonizing your relationships and your inner self. And we'll talk more about this later in this episode. And then we have resonance. I see resonance as let's say you ever gone to a symphony, or you ever heard a song, or you were jamming out at a concert or something like that, and the music stopped, but you still felt the beat. You know, it still lived on, and the beat goes on. Still moving strong, everlasting. Even though I wasn't saying anything, just by me having that tempo, singing a couple words in a certain melody, you were able to hear, at least whether you knew the song or not, what the vibe was like. That resonance lived with you. So the resonance is the ripple effect of what we feel based on the harmony and vibration of the frequency. You seeing how this is all starting to come together now? That resonance is when you live authentically and you resonate. So that ripple effect of what you give and receive, what you seed and receive, what you push and pull, when you resonate at a high frequency and align your actions with core values, then you can have a harmony, a positive energy for a vibration that you want to receive. This is the whole process. And when people say pray and meditate, this is what this is, breaking it down systematically. If you take it step by step, you can pray and believe. If that's your thing, you can do that. You can meditate. You know what I'm saying? Meditation can look like a lot of ways. You can sit still and do it. You could jam out. You could be cleaning and doing it. All of this is the process of emitting and pushing the energy out that you want to pull in. I pray that makes sense. If not, feel free to drop a question in the comments. So next, I want to break down specifically this topic in 3 different sectors. We have my blood, my bonds, and my being. Family is frequency in accordance to my blood, my bonds, and my being. Blood. The blood represents the past and connects us to our lineage. It provides a foundation for understanding our genetic and cultural heritage. It provides a foundation for understanding our genetic and cultural heritage. Where's your family from? What did they do? What was their profession? How did they talk to one another? What did they do in their spare time? What did they eat? What did they drink? Did they have any health issues? When you go to the doctor and they ask you these questions, this is what they're asking. They're asking about your blood. They're drawing your blood. They're doing their best to understand your genetic and cultural heritage based on the system they built. Then we move on to the present, and that's our being. Our being determines our reality. It's the essence we cultivate in the present moment. So by you being present with me right here, right now, and the energy that I'm pushing out, there's a part of you that's receiving it. And the part of you that's receiving it is now being in the present reality of I'm pushing, you're pulling. You're pushing, I'm pulling. We're pushing and pulling even through a screen by being in this present moment and allowing ourselves to take in and receive what is for us and then to give what we don't need or what we want to share. There's a certain reciprocity when it comes to being. It's a harmony. It's a rhythm. It's a flow when you're being. And then you have the future, those bonds. Our bonds shape our future. They offer opportunities for growth, support, and shared experiences. And anybody in business will tell you, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Because we are most like the frequency that we hang around. Our friends have a frequency, whether they're high vibrating, mid, or low vibrating. They have a frequency. And usually the people you spend the most time to is the frequency you end up matching subconsciously. Even if you don't like who you're around, it could even be not your friends. It could be coworkers. It could be teammates. It could be school people at school that you just be in class with. It could be your teachers. It could be your coach. It could be your family. It could be your blood. And you're just in the midst of them. And you might not like them, yet there's a part of you subconsciously in the back of your mind that's wanting to match with the frequency you're around because that's how we were designed. As human beings, we are designed to be social creators. We create experiences through our social experiences. We create experiences through our social interactions, our social ecosystems. So the more we're around a certain energy, the more we create that energy in our perspective. That's just how it works. So be mindful of the company that you keep. Be mindful of the company that you keep. Moving right along. Blood, the roots of your identity. So we have our ancestral legacy. Your blood carries the wisdom of generations. It's a living history of your ancestors' success and struggles. So literally, if you were to, I'm not going to even, go there and say that. Let's say you go to the doctor and you get some blood drawn, or you just so happen to scrape your knee or get a paper cut and you see some blood come out. You might just see a red dot. You might just see some liquid in the tube. You might just see some blood on the concrete. Yet in that substance is a history, is her story, is our story for years. In that one drop, there is the ocean of your family. Just like the ocean. There's a drop in the ocean and the ocean in a drop. You cannot separate the drop from the ocean, and they're separate. Even if you were to take some of the ocean water and take it back with you, no, the ocean isn't in the cup. The ocean is in the water. Water knows no bounds. It takes up the shape of any and everything that it enters into. So blood is a form of water, and that water is inside of you. So it's just taking up the space, taking up the shape of the container that is your body. Yet it is still of the lineage and the thread of life that came before you. Your bloodline exists within you. You are the chosen one. You are the chosen one. Yes. So it's a living history of our ancestors, their successes and their struggles. Their successes and their struggles, meaning that when they were high and when they were low, we feel all of that in our bloodline, whether we like it or not. It exists. So if you just so happen to be African American, you can look and you can see what's up. You just so happen to be Irish, you can look and you can see what's up. You just so happen to be German, you can look and see what's up. You just so happen to be Hispanic, you can look and see what's up. You just so happen to be Indian, you can look and see what's up. You just so happen to be this, that, brown, black, whatever you are. It's all in your blood. It's all in the water inside of your veins. That life force runs through you. And it is very powerful. It is very powerful, which means you are very powerful. You are very powerful. So, moving right along, we got our present connections. Parents, siblings, relatives, they form our immediate support system. They mirror aspects of ourselves. They mirror aspects of ourselves, offering valuable insights. And then we have our future potential. Your blood represents endless possibilities. It's a canvas for creating new beginnings and shaping future generations. It's a canvas for creating new beginnings and shaping future generations. So when we look at those present connections, you might not like the blood that you were born into, yet there's something for you to learn about the blood that you were born into. Because they might do things, they might think things, they might feel things that might give you a little insight on where you came from. And if you don't know, that's cool. Not everybody's born into a bloodline where they were accepted and they were welcomed with open arms, whether you've been, cast away from your own blood or whether you were adopted or whatever the case might be. We're going to get into that. Yet our blood still shows us a piece of who we are. It's not all of who we are. It's just a piece. And the beautiful thing about our blood is whether we have access to our blood members or not, we can look in our own blood and find patterns and rhythms. Yes, you can look inside of your own blood and see, who am I? Where did I come from? And you can trace it back very, very, very far. Very far. I'm not saying I know how to do it, but I know it exists. Okay, let's go. Bonds. So this is for the people who might not know their blood members or might not really fit in with their blood members all the way. And you feel like the black sheep of the family. I get it, I get it. Trust me. Bonds. They are bridges to our community. Friendship. One of the bonds that we have is friendship. True friends resonate with your soul. They challenge and support you, fostering personal growth. True friendship. My mother always taught me that there's a difference between a friend and a true friend. A true friend is going to let you know when you're right or wrong. A true friend is going to be there for you in the highs and lows. A true friend got your back, even if you ain't got your own. A true friend cares. A true friend trusts. And a true friend is going to be truthful with you day in and day out. Remember that. Mentorship. Teachers and coaches guide our path. Their wisdom shapes our perspectives and skills. I pray that if you don't have blood members that you can turn to and ask for advice, look at your community. Go outside and get involved in some sports. Go outside and get involved in some activities. Go outside, get in school. There's internships. There's ways you can get around people who have wisdom, who have knowledge, and they want to share it. It might take some work on your end. Yet seek and ye shall find. Seek and ye shall find, because when you seed it, when you push the energy, I want a teacher, I want to learn, I want to earn, I am worthy. You're meant to receive the reflection of what it is you're pushing into the universe, what you're pushing into the ethos, what you're pushing with your frequency, with your vibration, with that harmony, and with that resonance. So get to know some people. There's plenty of people out there that want to teach and are willing to teach you. The question is, are you coachable and are you teachable and are you willing to learn? That is the question. Collaboration. Teammates and coworkers amplify our abilities. Teammates and coworkers amplify our abilities. Together, we create harmonious synergy. You've heard energy. Synergy is synchronized energy. It's that harmony. It's when it flows and moves as one. The samurai does not see the sword separate from himself. It is an extension of his body, so the weapon is him. There is no sword. It is just a samurai. For real though, that's true warriors talk right there. And then we have adversity. Well, real quick, let me go back on that real quick. The teammates and coworkers. Teammates essentially are the swords. So together we become the samurai. Same with coworkers. Sometimes there's disagreements. Yet when you can get people on the same page together, things move with ease. It might not be easy, yet things move with ease when you are in sync with the people around you. And when y'all moving as one, man, I'm witnessing literally right now in my life, and I am a testament that miracles are true. They come with a lot of work. They come with a lot of prep, and they come with a lot of practice. They don't come free. They don't come free, yet they come early and often when you in sync. And that's the truth. Adversity. Even challenging relationships offer valuable lessons. They test our resilience and foster self-discovery. Self-discovery. I'm gonna go find myself. 403 lands ago, I found myself on Pangea. Now, for real though, sometimes we gotta go outside of ourselves, outside of our comfort zone to really get to know who we are. Because to know yourself when you're in sync is a beautiful thing. Yet to know yourself in the midst of adversity and challenges is a blessing. To know yourself in sync is cool. It's dope. It's smooth. To know yourself in challenges is a blessing and a lesson for your life. And to have both, boy, you cooking. Girl, you cooking. Come on. You heard? For real, boy. And now we got being. It's my favorite. This is my favorite, for real. Being is the essence of ourselves. And it starts with that self-awareness. So when you're going out and in to find out who you are through the highs and the lows and everything in between, that self-awareness allows us to cultivate a deep understanding of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Embracing our unique inner landscape, our inner blueprint. See, the blood is the blueprint to who we are, to who our journey is showing us that came from the past. Yet that being is who we are today. So for all the people who you don't know your blood members or you don't got no relationship with your blood, that's cool. I'm not saying that's cool if you want that. If you want that, hey, come join the academy so we can work through some things for you to see what the blockages is so you can connect with them. Yet for the people that are like, I went down that route, ain't really for me, I know my tribe is elsewhere, then this is for you as well. The being is who we are because all we can truly be is who we are today. Yesterday and tomorrow don't exist without today. So who you are today is what dictates yesterday and today. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams, and we are our children's greatest imagination. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams and our children's greatest imagination. All at the same time, right here, right now, today, as you watching this video. For real. For real. Yeah, I know you think, wait, wildest dreams, greatest imagine. Yeah, yeah, for real. It's like that. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are. And you ain't giving yourself enough credit for it either. There's so much greatness in your blood, in your bond, in your being. I'm here to remind you of your greatness. I'm here to remind you who you are. That your ancestors dreamed of the life you living right now. They dreamed of the access you have. They dreamed of the awareness that you have. They dreamed of the actions that you're performing day in and day out. And your children is like, wow, man, you did all of that? Imagine what I could do. You did all of that? Imagine what I could do if you're doing all of that with what you had. We are our children's ancestors. We are our children's ancestors right now today. I saw a thread that said, act like it. You acting like you don't know. You know more than you do. And it's not for you to go trans and pushing it out in the world. How about you pull it into your reality and allow yourself to live it within your daily life, day in and day out, as you rise and as you rest? Because as you build a rhythm with your routine, then you allow yourself to create a reality that's just for you, that your ancestors can continue to dream about and your children can continue to imagine. If that's for you, if you want to have children. If not, plant the seed. There you go. So getting back to self-love, talking about seeds. Nurture unconditional acceptance of yourself. Celebrate your strengths and embrace your imperfections with compassion. Embrace your imperfections with compassion. I know it get hard. I know it get hard. I know you don't always know what to do. I know sometimes you feel lost. I know sometimes you feel broken. I know sometimes you feel alone. You still are worthy of compassion. We talked about this in self-esteem versus self-confidence. Regardless of the outside, you still are worthy in here, and in here. You are worthy when you rise and when you rest, no matter what you did yesterday. You are always worthy to make a positive change today. It's up to you though. It's up to you what you think, what you feel, and what you do. Every day, you get to deposit new wealth into your worthiness by what you think, what you feel, and what you do. You hear me? What you think, what you feel, and what you do. You want to be wealthy? What you thinking about? You want to be wealthy? How you feel? You want to be wealthy? What you doing? Every day. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. And in that process, we can assure and have that self-assurance of who we are at our core. Building unwavering confidence. We talked about that wave in unison. The unwavering confidence in our abilities by trusting our intuition and standing firm in our convictions. See, the beautiful part about when you know your blood, your bonds, and your being is that you can be convicted in your character. See, your character precedes you, just like your reputation does. It's the resonance, it's the ripple effect of what you think, feel, and do every day. So as you're thinking, you're feeling, you're doing, and you're building that rhythm, even when you stop, there's a certain energy that keeps going in that. And it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And it keeps going so far to where you might not feel it anymore, but it's reaching somebody on the other side of the planet. It's reaching the waters on the other side of the world. It's reaching the stars in space. So everything we do is remembered. Everything we do is remembered. And it's not to judge. Like we said with self-love, showing ourselves compassion. Yet when we know who we are and we decide to move in that truth in our blood and our bonds and our being, we can be convicted in our character and create a reality that resonates with our rhythm. Don't you want to be in beat on your life? Don't you want to be in time? Don't you want that BPM to be exactly what you want, whether you want to go fast or whether you want to go slow or whether you want to swing it up a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Know your rhythm. Knowing your blood, knowing your bonds, and knowing your being is about knowing your rhythm and who you are day in and day out. That's the beautiful about family is frequency, which takes us right back to self-actualization. In order to strive to reach your highest potential, all of these have to align. Your actions with your deepest values and aspirations. What do you care about? What do you care about when nobody's looking? There's been times, not all the time, I'll be honest. There's been times I'll see trash on the street and I just pick it up just because. Just because. Because I love my earth that much. My earth has given me so much. I decide that it is my responsibility to take care of it as best that I can in my life. It's not me pushing anything off on anybody else. I just decide that because I know the bond and the being and the blood that is bestowed upon the earth that has been blessed in my life, who am I to stop that cycle? Let me keep it going for my children by keeping it going for myself. And that continues to bless me. Sometimes more than I even see, more than I can ever hear. I know I done made some mistakes. I know I've been learning some lessons, yet I still have favor by learning to give myself grace and compassion and then extending that to others as well. So that self-actualization allows me to take the potential of who I could be and turn it into practical principles that I can live every single day. It's turning that potential into practice. And in the middle lives the principle. And when that overlap and that principle happens, that's when our thoughts, emotions, and actions are all in alignment. And just like my lady T, I drink my tea every day. My thoughts, emotions, and actions. Drink that tea every day. Come on. Back to it. Hot to it. I am a fool. Okay, get it back to it. Embracing your inner frequency. The reason why I talk about all of this in the aspect of family is frequency. It's because we don't always resonate. We don't always connect with our blood because they sometimes have different historical beliefs. And based on the times and the culture and the laws and what was cool and what wasn't cool and their time period might not always match up with the culture that we're living in the present and might not always live up with the culture that's coming in the future. So those historical beliefs can create a certain level of disconnect, respectfully, because we're living different realities. Yet also there's an aspect of it, of those bonds. Remember the bond said true friendship, you connect on the soul level. So it's beyond the physical. It's, I share space with you. I connect with you beyond the body, beyond the mind, even beyond the heart. Our souls are aligned on this journey we call life. And as long as we choose to live it together, let's be in harmony with one another and move as one. We don't got to agree on everything. Yet when we decide that we want to move as one, we can get even more done in less amount of time. Because frequency is measured at a rate of time. And the more you are harmonized, aka the more you're vibrating in that wave of one unison, instead of being one drop and saying, I'm going to change the world as one drop. When you connect with millions and trillions of drops, just like the cells in your body, when you connect with the cells in your body and the drops in your life, you can make waves. You can make waves happen in your life. And that's where the blessings come through. Because you're not only doing it for you, you're doing it for them. You're doing it for him. You're doing it for her. You're doing it for everybody around you. And you're doing it with everybody around you. And when you're moving as one, now you got 10 times, 100 times, 100,000 times, 100 million times energy pushing at one time. Imagine attempt to push a boulder by yourself. Now imagine if every single body you knew and connected with pushed that boulder with you. I bet you won't take nearly as long to push that boulder where it needs to go when you're pushing it. And the same thing when you pulling it. So that's the power of manifestation. When you manifest by the many, the mountains move by the second. When you manifest by the many, the mountains move by the second. And when you want to do it by yourself, it could take lifetimes. The choice is yours. And you're unable to connect with those bonds unless you are being true in your being. See, being is a state, aka a noun, and a verb, meaning it's an action. So by being in the state, it's the wherewithal of who you are. Who are you when you're being? Are you being kind? Are you being generous? Are you being mean? That's what they be saying when they say, are you being? You might be focusing on that adjective after the word or that verb after the word or the adverb. Yet what they're asking is, how are you being before they give the description? Start listening to the language of the people around you and what they use. Are you being successful? Are you being wealthy? Are you being sick? Are you being healthy? Are you being responsible? Are you being respectful? Are you being? Are you being present in the state in which you choose? Are you choosing a high state, a mid state, or a low state? And then that goes to the verb of the actions. How are you being? So to be is that noun, to ing is the verb. The being and how you move in that state. Because it moves with you, which creates that resonance. And by creating that resonance, it creates a ripple effect, which then influences the wave. And that wave is what can move the mountain, because now you've created your frequency. And that frequency has become your family, has become your home, has become your friends, has become your tribe, has become your team, has become you. You are your frequency. And you have the power to influence the frequency of others. And they have the power to influence the frequency of you. That is why I say family is frequency, because it's that powerful. It's beyond blood. It's beyond bonds. It's also the being. It starts with you, and then it extends to the bonds, and it comes also from your blood. All in one. It's very powerful. And regardless of which one you don't connect with, you always have your being. Now, you might not be in the sound and right mind with your being. You might not be making sound decisions, having sound thoughts and sound emotions, meaning that they're harmonized to what your highest intention is. Yet now that you have this knowledge, because it's already in you, now that you have this knowledge, you can go and learn, what does it mean to be sound? What does it mean to be? Who and what is my blood? Who and where are my bonds? And how am I being? Asking yourself these questions can allow you to go on the journey of what we're about to get into, and that's to self-reflect, to regularly tune into your inner frequency and ask yourself who you must be to receive what you seek. Who must I be to receive what I seek? What do I want? What do I need? What do I want to come to me? How do I want to receive it? Well, in order for me to receive it, who do I need to be so I can be the one to receive it? Because most times we just want stuff. Oh, I want that, or I want that, and I want that. And when we're living out of alignment and we're living out of our light and sound frequency, then we have to go through so much resistance in order to go get it. Because we're literally, what we're doing is, where my mouse at? What we're doing is we're in a certain frequency, And let's say that frequency is clouded. Let's say that frequency is cluttered. Let's say that frequency is just claustrophobic and it's really closed. Yet you want something that requires an open frequency, a willing frequency, a practicing frequency, where you got to reach through all of that clutter, all of that claustrophobia, all of that closedness in order to get to the open space. So you got to go through barriers because sound holds weight. When you condense sound, it holds weight. And when you compress that sound and you introduce light, now you have frequencies that are weighing down on you based on the frequency that you hold, based on the state of your being, the bonds that you share, and the blood that is inside of you. So you're going through all the resistance of that being, all the resistance of those bonds, all the resistance of that blood to get through, and you're literally pushing through to try and get to the other side. Imagine how hard that is. Imagine how much of a struggle that has been for you. Don't you want it to come with ease? Don't you want it to just flow into your life? You think it, you feel it, you do it, and it just comes to you? You barely even pushing. You're just starting to pull what you want towards you. You're starting to just pull it, and it's just coming to you in divine timing, right when you need it. Sometimes even before you need it, before you wanted it, before you even willed it. And that happens when we clear the clutter. When we clear the claustrophobia, those fears, those doubts, those worries, when we clear the closed-mindedness and we open ourselves up like a seed sprouting out of the ground, like a baby chicken egg bacon coming through that mug. And you open yourself up to a new reality, a new world, a new rhythm, a new resonance, a new ripple effect, a new vibration, a new frequency. By opening yourself up and expanding, you're able to reach new heights. And the higher you go, the easier it comes because there's less resistance in the airwaves. That's why they're sending signals all the time in the airwaves. You can send them underground, but there's so much resistance. It's funny. I was watching a nature documentary on Netflix and they talked about this special owl. This owl in this, I think it might have been Siberia. I don't fully know where it was, but it was in a very cold place that has a lot of snow almost year round. And this specific owl had such good hearing, the way the ears were positioned and the way the hair and the furs came off on the owl's ears and head. It was like a megaphone coming into its skull so it could hear even the most tiniest sound in the snow. And there are these particular land rats or moles or mice or whatever you want to call them, these little fur animals in the snow, because it's so cold there, they got to eat like every 5 minutes to keep their vibration high. Because if they slow down too much with the snow, they could freeze and get stuck. And you don't want to freeze and get stuck in the snow because you can end up, you know what I'm saying? So they gotta move and they gotta scurry through the snow and they gotta find berries and find twigs and find leaves and eat all the time. They're eating around the clock. While the owl is up on the trees, it's just listening. And literally the owl will have such a precise sound hearing that it can pinpoint exactly where the mice are. Exactly where the mouse is. It can boop, boop. That's what it sounds like going into the snow. That's what it must sound like. And you slow it down. And it's on. And the beautiful thing as well is the owls, because of the way their wings and the fur on the feathers on their wings are positioned, they don't make a sound when they fly. They just And they get in that mug. The interesting part about it, though, is the snow holds weight. The snow is a substance, and the snow is a slowed state of water. And you know, water is always moving. Water is fluid. It's taking up the space of any container it's in. While snow is like the in-between state of solid and liquid. So it's being a little slower, a little thicker, a little chunkier, a little colder than water. Because it's now, the frequency of it has slowed down. If water is moving like this, air is moving like this, and solids are moving like this. That's why when you look at the different states in science class, solids are moving much slower than gases, because gases are at a higher frequency and have more space to exist and bounce and move and vibrate and as one to create that harmony. Then you get into the liquids and it slows down a little bit. It's still fast, but it's not as fast as the gas. So it's moving. Like, you know, when somebody passed gas and you're like, damn, what is that? You don't know where it came from. That mug, you, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, when somebody spit on you, it's like, damn, I saw it before it touched my lip, but I didn't have enough time to move. Whereas somebody throwing that fist at you, then boom, you got enough time to duck and dodge that mug. Okay, but coming back to the analogy of the snow. So snow is that in-between state of solid and liquid. And with it being slightly slower than liquid, and in that solid state, the molecules in it are moving slower than liquid. So when the owl would be on the trees at a certain distance from the mice, the snow would disrupt the sound. So if the sound was coming from here, the snow would disrupt the sound waves that are going to the owl's ears, and the owl would hear it as if the mice is over here. So it would go here and the mice would get away. It would go here and the mice would go away because the snow was creating a sound barrier. So it was that closed. It was cluttered. It was claustrophobic under that snow. It was pressure. That's the state you're in. It's that pressure. Yet what did the owl do to compensate for that pressure? It went to the skies. It went to the skies. It had to leave its nest, leave the tree. It left the tree and went to the skies. And then it would go directly over the snow because there was less interference by the way the snow bounced. So now that the owl was directly over the mice, when it heard it right here, instead of being a this gap difference, it was maybe a this gap difference. And it was more accurate to get exactly what it wanted with ease. This is an example of how these principles work in nature. This is not me just making up stuff. It's observing the environment and ecosystem that we exist in every single day. Yet we don't always decide that we want to be a living part of. The moment we start to be present and allow those bonds based on the blood, we can see how these harmonious actions are occurring every single day. I could break it down 10 other ways for you, yet that's enough. So coming back to it, intentional living. Thank you for going on that journey with me. Intentional living. Align your actions with your highest self. Make choices and decisions that resonate with your true essence. Only you know who you are at your true core, because you're becoming anew every day. Keep people around you that are going to support who you are at your core, because they're going to keep you, no matter what you go through. In order for you to have that continuous growth, to embrace the journey of becoming, your frequency evolves as you learn and expand your awareness, your consciousness, your state of being. That's all I got for the presentation, man. I pray that makes sense. I pray that resonates. Let me know in the comments if you feel it. Put an owl in the comments if it hit home. Whoo! Nah, for real, man. I appreciate you all spending time with me always. Like, this is something that has been life-changing for me because when I realized that my family is frequency, I could see beyond my blood. I could see beyond those bonds and I could see beyond my being and I can see how it all connects to one another and I can get to interact with them as from an objective standpoint instead of taking everything so personally. By being able to see it from a higher perspective, it allows me to have less interference for what I want to will into my life because it's all an opportunity for me to grow. It's all an opportunity for me to learn. And for that, I'm forever grateful. My name is MyCol, and this is MyCol Academy, where we master our code, nurture our growth, and find our way through life. This coming winter, in the cold season, we will be going through the shadow program. And what that is diving into our fears, diving into that guilt, diving into that grief, diving into that shame, diving into the lies that might have been told by the blood and the bonds, diving into the attachments that we might have to the state of beings that no longer serve us, and allowing us to come together in a group setting virtually to be able to connect, shed, and share our experiences so we can continue to grow and raise our vibration, raise our frequency, and connect our harmony so we can become one with who we truly want to be and who we truly need to be. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, hit the link underneath this video. Hit the link in my bio and come find out what it's all about, man. I'd love to have you in class. We're going to be doing it for 12 weeks. And I got some special programming planned for us. I'm going to be right there with you, learning alongside of you, teaching and learning, because it's a forever journey. So again, if you are interested in more of our services, we have a group program that's coming up real soon. I'm also accepting one-on-one clients if you want to work through any challenges or blockages, or you just want to be around somebody that's raising a vibration. Hey, I'm available and I'm willing. Fill out the assessment and we can see if we're a right fit for one another. I appreciate you all giving me your space, giving me your time, and just giving me your energy, you know? You could be anywhere in the world and you chose to be right here with me. And I greatly appreciate you. I pray you well on your journey and whatever you're going through. And know that you are worthy, you are loved, and you are the one. You are the one. Every time, every day, it's you. It's you. I love you. Peace.